Hello, everybody, and welcome to the living room. He's Wolf, I'm Tunch, and we are here. We're not in the locker room. So we're talking about some stuff today, and we're the top 100 players in the NFL. And Wolf, the top 100 isn't.
Good morning, Chaluch. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
My head's filling more and more of that screen every time we go on.
Yeah.
I got to up my cardio game, I think.
Yeah, well, I got up mic too. I walk 2 or 3 times a week. I 2 or 3 times a day to get out of the house. And
yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
So all's well, but now you threw out something. Pete Prisco's top 100, did you not?
Right. Yeah. But who's Pete Prisco?
That's, I'm sitting there going, I asked the same thing. It's some guy out there, he's got a top 100 NFL list of players, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of angst that kind of happened because on account of, you got yourself, Minka Fitzpatrick didn't make the list. Now, let me tell you who did, okay?
Yeah.
We'll start off with, we got ourselves, T.J. Watt was number 16, okay?
Right.
I like that. Bud Dupree was 60th, okay?
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, 33. All right. Now, the one that I was a little surprised at, but it's only because of the fact that he encountered having to play with 3 different quarterbacks last year. Juju was 84th, and his numbers were way down. But I get that, and that's the only thing I'm surprised at because his numbers were so down that Prisco would include him anyhow. But as you see, we'll go on. He includes players who had down years, but he still puts them in there. So I'll give you, here's what I got with Minka Fitzpatrick. And by the way, Ben Roethlisberger and Dave DeCastro were both honorable mention. Okay, just missed the top 100 list.
Right.
Okay, but Minka Fitzpatrick, now think about it. After coming over from Miami, after being in the discussion, conversation for NFL defensive MVP last year, right? He's totally left off. Now, give me just a couple stats here, because you know what a statistician I am. You know
Yeah.
Academically oriented I am, right?
Right.
Okay, points per game. Before Minka got here, the Steelers defense was averaging 30.5 points per game.
Right.
17.3. So
right.
Even somebody is like I am, I understand there's a big difference, right? Passing yards per game goes from 320 down to 176 a game, all right? And last of all, the rushing yardage goes from 125 to 107. It all points to the fact that the Steelers' takeaways, their sacks went way up, that Minka was tied for the team lead with 5 interceptions. What a great year. So I was surprised, and Minka handled it well, just said it adds fuel to the fire. I think he's going to come out and have a big year. What say you?
Yeah, I think, Minka is a great player. He not only is he fast, not only is he athletic, not only is he a ball hawk, but he has a sense of the game.
Right.
He has a feel for the game, and he's always in the right place at the right time. So I think he's going to have a big year again this year, and to show Pete, whatever his name is, Driscoll, I can't believe he was in the conversation for defensive MVP, and he didn't make the all 100. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's very confusing, I think. One of the things that always stood out to me about Minka was this. You didn't see any busts, in the
right.
back end there. He just seems to be one of those guys that makes sure everybody's on the same page. He knows what he's doing. He communicates it. He and Terrell seem to work really well.
Right.
And here's the thing about it. Some players just got it. You know what I mean? The ball finds them, or they find the ball.
Right.
Just that guy that seems to be able to ball hawk and do big things with it, such as when he took a couple to the house after the pick 6 and so forth.
Do you remember when we were in LA and we were talking to Rod Woodson about?
You remember how small that stadium was?
Yeah, right. But that was the Charger Stadium was a soccer stadium,
They remember, it's like Cliff Stout used to say, we played in front of a crowd so small, we had to whisper in the huddle.
Yeah. But do you remember Rod was talking about Minka?
Yes.
And he talked about the way he planted his foot and he attacked the ball. And Rod, who was also a corner and a safety, spoke in glowing terms about Minka and the way he attacked the ball, the way he attacked the ball carrier. And I think Minka's going to be a great player. And I love the pick. Although we didn't have a number one pick, but I love Patrick. Yeah.
Right. The thing was, when we were standing there talking to Rod, he talked about, some of the technical applications of his craft and applying it, like you just said, with Minka. And he talked about the fact that the way that Minka was able to attack so well, it came from understanding the big picture. How many guys out there, and how many times have we talked about young players that don't really show a real awareness overall? You know what I mean? It's like, for instance, you take you as an offensive lineman. I lined up at left guard basically my whole career with the Steelers. There was some times where I had to bump out the tackle and stuff, but basically it was left guard, right? But you played every position along that line until you settled in at right tackle. But that gave you a great overview. You understood each and every position, and then you had a better overview of the whole Chuck Noll trapping offense than I, who saw just with the glass from left guard. Yeah, I was a little, yeah, exactly, right? So the point being is this: you understood the bigger scheme of things, because you saw the big picture.
Chuck used to say, you don't have to be the biggest, strongest, and fastest to make plays. If you understand what we are doing offensively, you're going to be a good player. And if you understand what the defense is doing to you, and you make a great point. When I play, I moved from left tackle to left guard to center to right guard to right tackle.
Right.
In practice, and then I played guard and center in preseason. I never played center in the regular season because Webby never got hurt.
Right.
But then I moved to right tackle, and it was good that you understood the offense and you understood how to play the game.
Yeah, most notable, I think Ron Simmons, the old Cleveland nose tackle, who went on to have a fine career in pro wrestling. He remembers your centering. You remember when you puked on him?
Right. Yeah, and then he stood up and he went, ah!
I know, because you puked right in his face, and we double teamed him. It was the best double team in the history of the NFL. But okay, now here's the thing about it though, with the top 100, and this one kind of discombobulates me even more, because I'll say to you, okay, how about the fact that Marquise Pouncey wasn't even mentioned? I was really surprised. I mean, the man made the Pro Bowl last year. He was a second-team All-Pro in 2018. I mean, this is a guy, 8-time Pro Bowl, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro. I'm amazed that you don't include Marquise, at least an honorable mention.
You know who Pounce reminds me of? Dwight Stevenson.
Yes.
Yeah, he is so athletic, and he is so quick off the ball, and he is so good at hooking you. He reminds me of Dwight.
Yes.
Dwight was a rookie in 1980 in our class, and he went on to be be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I think Pounce is going to be a Hall of Famer because he is just like Dwight Stevenson, very athletic, very quick, and very tenacious.
And I'll say this, and I think that's a great Hindu that you just pulled out there, because of anybody that I could think of, the explosive power of Marquise. Marquise, he puts the violence back into the word violence. You know what I mean? Not unnecessary violence, not, that, but it's the high voltage, high intensity, fist in your face kind of fierceness that, the Intimidators back from our era, they would respect that. They would respect his game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you and Al Noga. I'm going to punch him in the face on the first play. Watch me. I'm like going, I'm a little busy on the other side. Tell me how it turns out, you know? But I mean, he sets a back in the day, and I mean this in all the positive ways. There was a violent attitude in playing. That's the way it was, you know. So when you want to set the tone. So you're going to punch somebody in the face, get his attention, and get him. Of course, after the play was over, when I heard Al yelling at you, "I'm not afraid of you, Ilkin," I had to laugh because I thought, well, you must have done it. You got his attention. But that's the point. You know, he plays with that electricity, that juice. You know, he brings that. He's still run pass capable, you know, equally, and he can still get out on the search and destroy missions and run.
Right.
Here and I go, let me throw a couple other guys at you. Well, I got your attention on this, all right? You got Marquise, not even mentioned, okay? But you got Joe Tooney, number 65, guard from the Patriots. What say you?
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan.
He's gotten better, but he is not in Marquise's class, if you ask me.
He's not even the David DeCastro's class.
Good point. Excellent point by you. Here's another one. Ryan Jensen, the center from the Tampa Bay Bucks. They got him at number 87. And you don't have Marquise even honorable mention.
No. I think this guy that picked the all 100, he doesn't watch film.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, he's going by reputation.
You know, because we both respect. Yeah, we both respect Geno Atkins. Fletcher Cox from the Eagles, Geno from the Bengals. But Geno's, you know, he's been slowing down a little bit. He's down to 4.5 sacks last year. He's normally a double-digit guy. Fletcher Cox, another double-digit guy. He was down to 3.5 sacks. But those guys were both number 54 and 53, respectively, on the list. I find that curious because even if you're going to put a top 100, it's hard to balance a center versus a defensive tackle versus a quarterback, a linebacker, and all these things. But the fact is, you got to make some sort of judgments about it.
Yeah, you know what? Early in Geno's career, he was sideline to sideline,
right?
Until he had the ACL, and then it was slow coming back. But now he's still a really good player. But he's not the player he was.
He doesn't have the range, like you said, exactly. I'll give you one more now. This combobulated me. Mitchell Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. Well, Kansas City right tackle Mitchell Schwartz. He's number 41.
Yeah, Mitch Schwartz. I'm not agreeing with that. I think they put him in because the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. You know, they wanted to take a bunch of players from the Chiefs and plug them in.
All right. Absolutely. Well, I think that's a good wrap on that. Now, here we got some other stuff coming up, Chaluch. We talked a little bit about it last week. We didn't really unpack it a lot, but the NFL Rules Committee is ruling out the Bulrush. Now, for our fans out there, we're talking about primarily, and I understand they're trying. Now, here's where you're kind of splitting hairs. You're talking about the wide 9 rusher not leading with the hands and just comes El Kabong, you know, what we used to call the Captain Caveman Bulrush, right?
Yeah.
But you know it extends all across the board. They're primarily going to concentrate on the wide 9s, but not everybody plays a wide 9. You got tight 5s in there, right? So the fact is, not leading with your hands, you could miss with the punch and slide up and still create contact. But to me, you're adding to the overwhelming enormous job of being a referee and watching the collision of behemoths in the trenches and trying to decide, did he have his hands in front of him or did he lead with his helmet? To me, it makes no sense.
You know, when we were in the league, the defensive line headbutted all the time. And then we headbutted on run blocks. You know, we used our hands on pass blocking, but we headbutted on run blocks. And George Perlis, the defensive line coach, made Gary Dunn headbutt every defensive lineman, Joe Green, Dwight White, Steve Furness, Banny. And you know what? The head was a weapon in our day. But it's not, you know, you know what? I've seen a commercial where a doctor was watching a lot of film. And so he made adjustments to make the game more safer. And so he said that you can't do this, you can't do that. And right now, you can't lead with your head. And so, and you know what? And you can't, when are they going to outlaw the 3-point stance?
Wow. Now you're talking about something close to both our hearts.
Yeah.
The 3-point stance, the 3-point, you can grab grass and get that down, under, and up type of angle when you come on a guy. But a 2-point stance, you've got to have so much body mass to be able to get a roll into it and be able to sustain the force that you're going to catch, because you can't have that under and up. The first thing that happens is you stand up from that. But it creates a highness, you know what I mean? Now, I got to tell this one story. Remember back in training camp? Remember when George Perlis came out with the Bang and You game?
Yeah.
Remember when he said, I need a volunteer? And he looks at me, the rookie, and he goes, you, Wolfley, come here. And then he stood me up with an offensive tackle there and gave Gary Dunn a 4-yard running headbutt. Do you remember that? He almost knocked him out. And remember, Dunny knocked me down, and George picked me up and goes, that's a fine job, Wolfley. That's a fun. Nobody could. Get back in there and do it again.
Well, you know what? The game was different.
It was.
Training camp was different.
Yes.
You know, we had 2 days for 2 weeks, and it was physical. And I remember one time when Chuck goes, we're going to cut back on practice today. And he went 2.5 hours. And I you know, when we came off the ball, when we came off the field, I looked at you and I said, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but he put on a half hour. He didn't cut it back.
You know, the funny part was up at training camp, it reminds me of those times you talk about it. The funny thing was, it would be 90 bazillion degrees out, and Chuck would start talking to you and talk to you about, let's hustle. Let's get on the field. Let's get our work done. Let's get off the field.
Yeah.
To be out there for 2 hours and 15 minutes. We can get our work done in 90 minutes, you know, get off the field. And then that's when you turn to me and go, how did an extra 15 to 30 minutes added on equal getting off the field quicker? The math doesn't work. And you know why? Coaches lied to you, Chaluch.
Yeah.
This is the truth. They will tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you all juiced up and jacked up, right?
Right.
I got something for you, all right? Here. Football coaches everywhere have been lying to us. Do you understand this now? Remember, back in the day, whenever you're sucking wind, you got the hands on the knees, you're bent over, you know, you're looking at the ground, the sweat's pouring off you, and you're sitting there, you can't hardly breathe. And coaches say, oh, there's no air down there. Stand up, put your hands on top of your head. Let's go. Make sure you're breathing. Get those hands up, you know. And here, there is a peer-reviewed study that they've done that says hands on the knees, looking at the ground, sucking wind posture is the very best way to recover after a hard sprint or a hard play. They've been lying to us, Chaluch, the entire time.
We've been lied to so many times. We've been lied to. And, there is a lot of rule changes.
Oh, yes.
But the rule change that I'm not in agreement with is the onside kick rule change.
Oh, no. You know what? What do you say all the time? Because there have been, are we getting close to 150 rule changes since you and I retired?
Right,
somewhere around there. It's well over 100. I thought it was around $140 or so back a couple of years ago, and just trying to keep up with this. But Chaluch, they keep tinkering with what's a great game, and one of these is having a 4th and 15 alternative instead of the onside kick. And to me, it's crazy. If you score a touchdown, right, and you want an onside kick, but instead you can go in this alternative, you line up at the 25 and it's 4th and 15. You gotta get a first down. If not, the other team takes over. Now,
what's that?
Is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. The onside kick. Now they adjusted it so you can't overload one end. So they make it balanced, and the onside kicks have been less and less successful. So I don't understand why they moved from the onside kick to 4th and 15. That's crazy.
Well, it just gives you that alternative. And again, it's about taking away the big clash, the big smash on the kickoff return team, on the kickoff team. It's disappointing to me because the onside kick has always been one of the most exciting plays. I mean, whether I was on it or not, if you remember my rookie year, we're out in San Diego. You remember in the end of the first half, I was on the front 5, right? And what does San Diego do? They kick the onside. That ball comes rolling at me. I kid you not. It was in my dreams that night. I remember thinking it was like if you took a shot of NyQuil, and all I could see was no, because the ball is bouncing towards me. It seems to be so slow. And just as I put my hands together and grab the ball, I get hit by the 2 headhunters, and I lost the ball. It was bad. It was bad.
Well, when I was when they I forget who was it. I think the Bengals kicked an onside kick, and I was on the front line, and it was drilled, and it stuck in my armpit. And
did you carry it?
I fell down, and I said, "Oh, I should have ran."
No, don't run. Bad things happen when offensive linemen run with the ball. All right? Don't ever forget that. And for you young bucks out there, don't ever think about picking that ball up and running, because only bad things happen to fat guys when they run with the football. Trust me on that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, the doctor watching, remember the headbutts,
Before we finish, I want to ask you about that 3-point stance, because I know it's something both dear to our hearts, because I can't get this out of my head with Matt Canada, with Derek Watt. The ability with Eric Ebron coming too, 2 tight end, fullback, grab the grass, play action. I'm hoping it's going to be a bigger part and parcel of our offense this year. What do you think?
I want a little bit more smash mouth football. One of the things that the addition of Eric Ebron and Derek Watt, we can be more physical. And with Vance McDonald and Eric Ebron, they're thunder and lightning. Vance McDonald's thunder. He's very physical. Eric Ebron, he's the touchdown maker. He's very athletic. But I think, we're going to have a good offense this year. And I thought, watching Ben throw the ball, he's back. As Juju said, he's back. And so, I believe because Ben is very hungry and he wants to get another Super Bowl, that this is going to be a great year for him. And the addition of Eric Ebron, and the draft class, I love the draft class.
How about a little more play action, Chaluch? Getting that 3-point, grab that grass, get that boom coming off the ball, and then just lock up with the guy and you do the fat guy waltz. That's the one thing I loved about play action. You can really sell out, come off hard, and be able to wail into them and then lock up with them. And it takes them a stunning moment to realize that it's not a run play, that it's indeed a pass play. So if you can lock onto him and get his attention with a good shot right between the eyes, which, of course, I forget, you got to lead with your hands. But you have that stunning moment where they're trying to read whether it's a run or pass. And I love it. I think it's a big part of the offense.
Yeah, I just think number one, they run a lot of traps, so the trap pass is very effective.
Right.
And you know, we don't run as many play action passes as we should. But I think that'll change this year because of the running backs, and we're going to have a smash mouth running game, and then the play action pass works.
Nothing as good as a little fist in the face fury just to set the tempo.
Yeah. But you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well, you know what? Didn't you get a penalty? Didn't El Nogo? Did that start off with you getting a penalty?
No. I didn't get it. I didn't get a penalty.
Oh, they didn't catch you. Oh, that's right.
They didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Here's to a good play. It was to my friend.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a wrap, brother.
All right. So far, we've been on every week, and we've been discussing certain things, and we'll continue to do so. So thank you for joining us in the living room. But I'm in the den. He's in the bedroom.
Right.
We're not in the living room.
I can't wait for the kitchen version. Cooking, you know, in the kitchen, cooking with you and me. That would be something. We'd make peanut butter sandwiches.
Right.
Terrible.
I'm not a cook. I'm a griller.
No. Yeah, I'm just a consumer.
So long, everybody, and God bless. Thank you for joining us. He's Wolf. I'm Tunch, and you are in the living room.